Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Friday SitRep. We have once again another awesome release for Great War Month because we're in the pre-order phase for those, but it is still Red October as well, so we have our new release of the week, which is the BMP3, along with the Little Green Men add-on. And as previously mentioned, you can get $15 off our Operation Barbarossa instruction book all month long, so make sure to take advantage of that. But without further ado, let's head on into the design room and see what Brickmania has been working on this week.
All right, so Great War Month is continuing to roll on. No tank pun intended, but there's one there instead. It is Mark V week. We have Mary's Mark V right here. This looks awesome, Mary. What are some of the updates you brought to this awesome kit?
Yeah, so honestly, we were bringing it up to speed to where the Mark IV was because it didn't quite make sense to have our Mark IV be more advanced than the Mark V.
Right.
That's a little backwards. So updated some of like this flex tube detail. It's a lot sturdier than it was, and it makes a little bit more sense. Before it was like a little bit too complicated than necessary. And then also updated some of the interior bits. Can't really see it at all, but as you're building, and then if you're putting your minifigs in there, then you'll get to see that the interior is a little bit closer to accurate. And otherwise, just like piece updates and just made sure everything was still available and affordable.
Yeah, very, very cool. Looks like we've got some Hotchkiss machine guns. I think there's going to be 4 of them, right? But we only have 2 on here right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been using a lot of Hotchkisses, so they're a little bit out of stock in the design room right now.
Yeah, between your Saint Charmant and this thing now, you're just pretty much rifling through all of the World War I Hotchkiss brick arms. That's pretty cool.
Sure.
But we got the gun sides on there, so there you have it. That is the newly updated Mark V, now available for pre-order on brickmania.com. Mary, thanks for checking in. All right, so now we're checking in with Landon because we've got a brand new minifig this week. Captain John Paul Jones.
Yes.
Throwing back to the Revolutionary War vibe, considering the birthday of the United States Navy on October 13th. Talk to me about this figure here, Landon.
Obviously a very similar configuration to these Revolutionary War soldiers that we produced previously. Kind of the, I guess, common styling of the day with those uniforms. Yeah, nice, cool, slick uniform. Very fancy looking, I guess, from our modern sensibilities. But it was, a decently practical uniform as well. So it's you have that overcoat, the frock or whatever I believe it's called, and that covers over that vest. And you get the breeches and the socks and the shoes. It's that's what they wore back then, right? A little bit of shadows going on. And obviously we're bringing that vest down onto the front of the pants there. What else? That brand new printing on the pirate's cap there, the bicorn. So previously they had the tricorn cap with the printing on top. This guy's got a nice bicorn going on there with the little pin up top. Yeah, little metal as well. Simple fig, cool history. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely very exclusive, very awesome, kind of outside the normal line of things, but one that we're interested in exploring a little bit more. So,
I think it's the first time we've used epaulets here. These little shoulder decorations. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Well done as always. Thanks for walking me through that figure. All right, Brickmaniacs, so time for another Friday Cabana check-in. We've got the HMS Warspite here in 1/350 scale. This came together pretty quick, Dan, but has a pretty unique look to it. What can you tell me about this awesome ship?
Well, it's a World War I super dreadnought. So Queen Elizabeth class, 5 of these made before World War I started. These were the state of the art in the day. Big ships, heavy belt armor. The coolest feature is the super firing turrets, which means you have one turret over the other, so they can shoot over each other.
Sure.
And there's no blind spots that way. A lot of the features you see in the Warspite in this class is the same thing as all the modern warships. Modern by like World War II standards, I guess, have the same sort of arrangement. Big two turrets in the front. This one has 2 sets of turrets in the back. 14-inch guns. They have these secondary guns on the side. You're seeing a prototype, so the real thing will have some better coloration, more uniform coloration. You can see the black pieces on the side. I just don't have the right gray pieces.
Sure.
And throughout, there's substitutions. So this is going to go into production in a week.
Yeah.
I have the electronic format. Just got this together yesterday finally. sandwich the upper hull and lower hull together, where the gray transitions to red. It actually splits apart.
Waterline model,
So
cool.
you can have a waterline model. You'd be able to make a big ocean battle. We could have several of these. There were 5 of these in the Grand Fleet. British Navy, World War I. So they were at Jutland. They were everywhere. The British, the British Admiralty sent them during World War I.
No, I remember you telling me this is a pretty common model builder scale. How was it transitioning it to bricks?
Well, this is nice. So previously, the little micro warships we've done are at 1/700 scale, which is also another common modeling scale. I wanted to go a little bit bigger. I was kind of inspired by, doing some other projects. Basically other ships and stuff that we've done, and wanted to do a little bit bigger. And this seemed like a logical scale because it was just simply double the scale of the Missouri, the Yamato, and the North Carolina. So it's cool. You get a lot more detail. My HMS Dreadnought I did a little while ago. I mean, actually, probably 12 years ago now.
Oh wow!
It was a very similar scale to this. It was actually a little bit bigger, but this seemed to be a good scale. Where one brick height was about the same as one deck height, so it makes it like nice and easy to model. Very simple.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. Not only is it kind of that scale where it's still playable, but it definitely has that kind of mantle display piece look to it.
It's about the minimum you could get away with. Our other ships are really too small.
Right, sure.
So if we were going to compare like the Yamato or the Missouri, it would be a good 4 or 5 inches longer than this. Maybe at some future juncture, we'll continue to make ships of this scale, do some expand the fleet. So I enjoyed building this a lot more than those really small scale ships.
Sure, yeah. Well, and it definitely has a grand look to it. This will be the final pre-order available for Great War Month. It is going to be just a batch of 50. We'll see where we go from there. Otherwise, Dan, thanks for walking me through this.
All right, cool. Always fun to check in. Love the Mark V. This definitely was one that we had considered bringing back for Great War Month and was not surprised to see it do well on the fan poll. Once again, this is still in the prototype phase. That's why things aren't the same colors as the pictures you see online. That's how
It's mostly
yeah, right. Just some flex tubing, and then this is supposed to be brown because it's a log.
It's a log.
It's a log. But yeah, this thing looks awesome. Love that dark tan. Opening hatches.
Kind of the quintessential
Lots of fun.
World War I tank.
Yeah, and you know what? Couple of modifications, and it could look like some awesome futuristic tank too, because this thing is just.
You play a little bit too much Warhammer.
It's wild. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's awesome. Yeah, but I like this thing a lot. Okay, so update on the BMP3. Obviously, we still have a bunch of those online. I know we talked initially about wanting to have the Little Green Men available as standalones, but we don't really have enough. So that's just kind of the way it is. We want to make sure that people who are still able to get their hands on the BMP3 have the option to pick up the Little Green Men with that. And so outside of that, we really don't have a ton to be able to put online as standalone. So that's just the fact of the situation. It's not that they're like retired or off the market or anything. We just didn't have enough room in this production run to be able to make them available standalone. So that will be something that we do in the future, but not now.
Not now.
Not now. But at the same time, this is pretty sweet, and you can still get up to 4 of them with your BMP order. You want to go over those Little Green Men?
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. What do you want to hear about first, Dylan?
Well, why are they little and green?
Why are they little and green? Well, it's kind of a nickname for these guys. They sort of appeared under a little bit mysterious circumstances, right? So, Little Green Men. Maybe going over the uniform that is very green. That's why. Because they're green.
Yep.
Digiflora on the uniform, and then I opted for a old school Flora helmet cover on there. And that's definitely seen some going for that simulated sort of sun fading on that. But the Digiflora, yeah, I've been playing around with this camouflage pattern for quite a while. It's a cool pixelated camouflage. In real life, those are really tiny pixels compared to some other digital camouflages. So it almost fades to like an olive drab color really quick when you step back a little ways. But I think it's a relatively effective camouflage. It looks kind of cool and intimidating, I guess. That's what they're going for.
Yeah, it definitely is a really unique looking figure, especially considering the camo pattern in the BMP3. It does kind of contrast like that, but in a cool way.
Sure. Yeah, and then opted for a balaclava face cover. They're usually hiding their faces. Maybe adding to a little bit of that scariness, intimidation factor.
Yeah.
And also not wanting to be identified.
That's a reason to cover your face.
So, Yes, that's why people cover their faces.
Indeed.
Perhaps cold weather is another.
It is Russia.
It's cold. It is now.
This is Russia.
Combat boots. I don't know what more. One of my favorite things actually is the elbow pads, and that kind of debuted that artwork on the Afghan National Army Commando.
Oh, cool.
But again, it's like a combat elbow pad.
Yeah, some updated artwork.
Yeah, they're like skateboarding or rollerblading elbow pads. So on the weekends you can go for like a cool rollerblade ride, all decked out in your elbow pads and knee pads. That's what total
Safety
they're
first.
up to. But,
What kind of brick arm?
What kind of brick arm?
Yeah, what kind of brick arm should I outfit my green men with?
So AK-74, U up to the AK-12, just really any sort of AK platform.
Cool. Awesome. Make sure to check those out. We got plenty of brick arms and also plenty of perfect calibers, etc. So get yourself your BMP3 and your little green men, and make sure they're well armed as well. Landon, thanks for walking me through that figure. Obviously, we went through John Paul Jones in Landon's checking in the designer, so maybe there's still some of those figures left by now.
See.
Probably not, because they were pretty cool. But that is for the Navy's birthday on October 13th. Really awesome commemorative fig. Pretty excited about that release. So. Good job, Lando. Let's do a couple of our mentions now. Once again, we are still doing the Wounded Warrior fundraiser. Our goal is obviously $6,190 by November 11th. So please help us reach that goal. When we do, we will be sending that LCAC off to the Navy. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to get it done. It'll be a big month for us. So thank you to those of you who already supported us, and to those of you on the fence. Please, we're all in this together. We need that. In that same breath, too, remember we still do have free shipping. So that's $500 international, $100 here in the States. Gets you free shipping on your order, and it's gift card season. So if you want to pick up, a gift card for $100 and give it to your Christmas person, your holiday recipient of said gifts, they would then get free shipping.
There you go.
Kind of works, right?
It's especially given how fast stuff goes. You might not always see exactly what you're looking for, so a gift card is actually a good way to, guarantee that down the road you'll have the funds right there for what you want to get, or whoever you're giving a present to, right?
Well, and especially some of the people who are super into it, they really want something very, very specific.
Yes.
If you don't listen closely, sometimes you're like, well, was it the F-16 or 22 or the MiG? Like, what did they want? I can't remember. They said something about a jet. Just get them the gift card so that they can get the jet that they want.
Yes.
Because that'll be awesome. Once again, our next planned sale is going to be the 4th through the 11th, 15% off for Veterans Day. So make sure you mark those dates on our calendar, or on your calendar, because that is going to be awesome. We have a huge new haul of brick arms coming in on Monday, which is going to be awesome. That includes the M2019 blaster, which may or may not have something special in the works for that. Stay tuned. We're excited. And then finally, very exciting news, Halloween weekend.
Yes.
Your first crack at the 2020 horde of randos. Yes, so Lando's Randos return Halloween weekend. There'll be kind of a special promotion that goes along with them. So stay tuned for more details there, but your first shot at getting your hands on this new horde of Lando's Randos will be coming up in October. Other than that, the Vault returns January 2021. We're gonna take a couple of months off so we can build up some inventory for that. Anything else, man?
I am getting excited for that horde.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing some building. We haven't quite gotten them all together yet, but I mean, the parts are there. So
Yeah, we'll start putting some cool stuff together.
coming together.
We've got something special coming down the line for early in December that will play nicely into all this stuff. So we got to make sure that the horde is back and bigger than ever, right?
Exactly.
All right, cool. That is everything for this SitRep. We'll see you on Monday.